It all started as a quiet rumor on social media, mysterious posts about court filings, and a sealed affidavit. But within hours, the whispers turned into a storm. Court documents claimed that Mendeecees, a beloved reality TV star and devoted father, might have been involved in a secret drug trafficking operation. Fans were shocked. Emotions ran high. His family was torn apart at the thought that the man they cheered for his strength could now be under criminal investigation. Insiders said the documents mentioned coded texts, strange money transfers, and secret late-night meetings in hidden places, painting a picture darker than anything the show had ever aired. Production on the show was suddenly halted again. Crews were sent home, trailers locked, and legal teams scrambled to confirm if the claims were true. Supporters insisted this was just a smear campaign to destroy Mendeecees' comeback, especially after his recent hospitalization. While skeptics said the timing right before filming resumed was too perfect to ignore, as the world waited for an official word from the courthouse. One question echoed everywhere: is this reality TV's darkest scandal, or just another story made of rumors and betrayal? The day those sealed documents went public, the entire reality TV industry held its breath. Overnight, allegations surfaced claiming that Mendeecees, once celebrated for his charm and resilience, was entangled in a covert drug network. The court papers described shady late-night meetings in parking garages, coded text messages referencing the package and Mr. H, and cryptic wire transfers to shell companies. Prosecutors said it all pointed directly to him. Fans couldn't believe it. The buzz spread fast. At the courthouse, Yandy Smith paced the shiny marble floor, her phone buzzing nonstop. Friends checked in, loyal fans offered prayers, and strangers demanded the truth. A friend remembered her voice shaking as she whispered, "This can't be real." Meanwhile, Mendeecees' lawyer, Hercules Rodriguez, called the allegations false and designed to destroy Mendeecees' comeback. But even he couldn't shake off the weight of those official affidavits. Across town on the set of Love and Hip Hop, panic broke out. Producer Martha Reynolds slammed her hand on the table and barked out orders. Pull anything tied to Mendeecees' promos, scenes, everything. Assistants packed up makeup. Lights were covered, and security quietly escorted the cast away. The once busy set fell silent. Castmates posted a united message on social media. "We stand with our brother Mendeecees Harris," with behind-the-scenes photos showing happier times. But in private, some admitted they had seen signs late. Arrivals, nervous glances, whispered phone calls. One background actor remembered Mendeecees Harris arguing with a shadowy man about money. Were these just personal struggles or something darker? The court documents didn't hold back. Screenshots showed encrypted texts like, "Drop the box" at the corner, and "Confirm receipt before dawn." Bank records revealed thousands flowing through offshore accounts. There were even surveillance photos of a duffel bag swap under a highway. Each new detail chipped away at Mendeecees' public image. Outside the courthouse, paparazzi swarmed Yandy Smith as she left. "I believe in his innocence," she whispered, tears on her face. Public reactions were instant. Some shouted, "Lock him up." Others posted hashtags like #innocent until proven guilty and #moms stand with Mendeecees. Even within his family, there were arguments. Some trusted the evidence. Others believed it was all a setup. Inside, judges prepared for a high-stakes hearing. One assistant district attorney told the press, "This is a blueprint for organized crime, and Mendeecees' name is on every page." His defense lawyer hit back, saying the case was full of hearsay and unverified claims. Outside, fans gathered with signs. "We want the truth," some with candles, others shouting. On YouTube, reaction videos exploded. One influencer cried, "He betrayed us." Another called it bigger than last season's reunion drama. Behind the scenes, the network scrambled. Emails from major sponsors threatened to pull out unless they responded fast. One memo warned, "We could lose half our revenue if we don't act." Executives suggested damage control a special about Mendeecees' journey, PSA letters on addiction, or even a heartfelt statement from him. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was isolated, under pressure to keep his rehab story alive the one fans believed. In private calls, he said, "I never wanted my past to define me, and if I'm guilty, I'll face it. But if I'm innocent, I need to clear my name." Then, out of nowhere, a tip came in. Someone had tampered with the records and faked the messages. It accused a jealous cast member of leaking the info to ruin Mendeecees. Prosecutors began a new investigation, digging into server logs. Was Mendeecees set up, or was he hiding something? At home, his mother held a prayer circle, gripping her Bible. "One lie can't erase a lifetime of love," she said. But her brother, a retired cop, disagreed. If he did wrong, he has to answer for it. Even blood was starting to split. At school, Mendeecees Harris's teenage daughter broke down after classmates showed her memes of his mugshot. A teacher said students mocked her, while others offered comfort. It was clear now this story had gone far beyond a TV show. It was hurting real people. One of Mendeecees' old friends said he once admitted to minor drug deals years ago to pay medical bills. An old interview surfaced where he said, "We all have dark chapters." Now tabloids used that quote as proof he was guilty. In the chaos, one addiction counselor spoke up. "No one deserves trial by social media." Her letter reminded people let the court decide. But the storm of opinions didn't stop. That night, outside the courthouse, candles flickered. One fan's sign said, "Truth will out." Another said, "Lock him up." The drama, the heartbreak, the rumors this was no longer just entertainment. And the next chapter? A courtroom showdown that could make or break Mendeecees forever. As the tension inside the courtroom thickened, Mendeecees' defense team walked in, carrying binders filled with documents they believed could challenge every claim made in the sealed filings. Friends and family packed the pews, many wearing matching shirts that read truth, not rumors. A soft wave of whispered prayers filled the room, as everyone hoped the narrative would shift in his favor. When the judge entered, lead attorney Jasmine Rodriguez stood up and made her opening move, calm but assertive. She asked the court to dismiss the case on grounds of unreliable evidence. She argued that the so-called encrypted messages were unverified and pulled from unknown third-party sources, and that the financial transfers being cited were actually legitimate payments tied to real estate investments, nothing criminal. The courtroom murmured with doubt and curiosity, but then the prosecution played their hand. They introduced a former courier who testified that he had personally delivered packages under Mendeecees' code name. In a powerful testimony read aloud by the assistant district attorney, the witness described exchanging a duffel bag filled with unknown white packets. In return for cash transactions he said were directed by Mr. H. Fans in the courtroom gasped. Headlines exploded. Key witness links Mendeecees to drug ring. The defense didn't back down. They attacked the witness's credibility, pointing out his criminal record and suggesting he was only cooperating to get a lighter sentence. Outside, media chaos erupted. Reporters crowded around Yandy Smith during a break, asking how she felt. She paused, then said, "I believe the truth will come out. I trust my husband, and I trust the system." Her calm words sparked a wave of supportive tweets, but also accusations of staged drama to sway public opinion. Meanwhile, Mendeecees' family met in a rented room with his legal team. Tensions rose when a former detective uncle said the garage security footage had a strange 30-minute gap and cameras were down for maintenance during the alleged handoff. Some family members nodded in agreement. Others worried that pushing the sabotage theory would just make things worse. Across town, the network's crisis team met on video call executives, lawyers, and publicists, all debating whether to pause the show entirely. One warned that if the court ruled against them, sponsors would sue for airing any episode that featured Mendeecees. Another suggested they shift focus to other cast members and quietly ride out the storm. No clear decision was made. Then came a shock. A digital forensics expert testified that the metadata on those incriminating texts pointed to a device registered to a production assistant who allegedly held a grudge against Mendeecees. Social media exploded with fresh conspiracy theories. Was the evidence faked to sabotage him? Or was this just another distraction? The judge ordered a full forensic audit of all digital communication logs. Lawyers scrambled to recover deleted texts, missing phones, and backup drives. The cast, once united, began to fracture. A longtime friend of Mendeecees, known for being fiercely loyal, admitted to a blogger that he'd seen that same assistant slip small vials into Mendeecees' trailer. Around the same time, a rival cast member leaked texts suggesting the assistant had turned bitter after Mendeecees refused to help with her personal project. Lines between professional roles and personal grudges were blurring fast. Then came a moment everyone was waiting for. Mendeecees took the stand himself. He looked exhausted but determined. He said, "I was in that trailer, tired from shooting. I took my prescribed medication. Then everything went black. I woke up in a hospital, scared and confused. I never received any strange package. I never ordered anything illegal." His voice cracked as he added, "My only mistake was trying to juggle too much and trusting the wrong people." His heartfelt words flooded social media. Some fans cheered him on. "I believe in Mendeecees Harris." Others dismissed it as a performance. Influencers hosted live streams, analyzing his body language, facial expressions, and even the way his wedding ring moved on his finger. Advocacy groups used the moment to push for reforms in reality TV mental health resources, regular drug tests, and support for cast members in crisis. A petition for accountability gained tens of thousands of signatures in days. Then, the defense brought in a cybersecurity expert who did a live demo showing how easily fake messages could be created and made to look real. The courtroom buzzed with reactions. The judge allowed it, despite the prosecution's protests, and people began to question whether the messages presented as evidence were truly legit. Tabloids rushed to change their headlines. Was Mendeecees being framed, or was he using new tech tricks to dodge guilt? Evening news segments featured digital experts warning that deepfakes and message spoofing could ruin lives. Through all this, Yandy Smith stayed calm. She posted old family photos online, writing heartfelt captions about loyalty, truth, and faith. One touching image of her leaning on Mendeecees' shoulder brought floods of support. "That's the man we love," one commenter wrote. But others demanded answers. "Show us the real data," they said. Quietly, the network began filming private interviews with other castmates. One tearful confession revealed a castmate felt betrayed to learn how close the assistant had been to Mendeecees. Another said the entire season was ruined, adding, "The show has gotten too real, we can't control it anymore." These behind-the-scenes clips were set to air once the trial ended. As week 2 of this drama closed, the judge called for a break so both legal teams could review the new evidence. Whispers in the courtroom suggested a possible plea deal. Maybe Mendeecees would admit to one lesser charge in exchange for leniency. Online, fans debated. Would he confess? Could the truth still come out? Even Mendeecees and Yandy's children were caught in the chaos. Bloggers noticed that their names popped up in anonymous fan forums showing support for their dad. Some praised them for their loyalty. Others said they were too young to be dragged into this mess. As part 2 of this emotional saga closed, one truth was clear. The fate of Mendeecees Harris now hung in the balance, and the next chapter could bring redemption or ruin. The courtroom fell silent as the assistant district attorney called their next witness, former network security analyst Carla Jimenez, who stepped forward holding a tablet loaded with login data. She explained that within the 24-hour window of the alleged text message exchange, an unknown device had accessed the show's messaging server. She tapped the screen and displayed a timeline showing the suspicious activity. Gasps filled the room as it sank in there may have been tampering, not just by a rogue insider, but possibly from inside the network itself. Fans watching from outside quickly live-streamed updates. Some claimed this proved a massive cover-up, while others said it only delayed the inevitable truth. Hashtags like hashtag network conspiracy and hashtag Mendeecees fraud began trending. Each group convinced they were on the right side. Social media influencers jumped in with reaction videos, swearing to reveal the real puppet masters. Meanwhile, Yandy Smith returned to the network for a stakeholder meeting. Around a long boardroom table, producers looked worn. One executive confessed, "We underestimated the legal blowback. Sponsors are threatening to walk unless we tighten data security." Another suggested hiring an outside audit firm. After listening quietly, Yandy spoke up. "We must protect our family's name, but we also owe the truth to our viewers. Let's get outside help. No more secrets." Her calm leadership steadied the room, aligning the show's interests with the legal fight for justice. Back in court, tension spiked during Carla Jimenez's cross-examination. The prosecutor asked if her data logs could have been faked. She replied confidently, "No. I have mirrored forensic backups stored off-site. Nothing's been altered since collection." The judge nodded, accepting the evidence. But the defense wasn't finished. They brought in their own expert, who showed right in front of the jury how someone could spoof logs with zero trace if they knew what they were doing. The back and forth felt like a high-stakes chess match, each side taking careful shots. Outside, Mendeecees' mother hosted another prayer circle, this time live-streamed. Supportive comments and scripture quotes poured in, but critics accused her of using public sympathy to fund a legal campaign. The family stood divided. Some said the publicity could sway mercy from the court. Others feared it was a distraction. Then a new twist surfaced. Anonymous emails sent to tabloids alleged that the production assistant being blamed had a personal grudge. Years ago, she had reportedly asked Mendeecees to help launch her music career, and he had declined. Now, old posts resurfaced showing her thanking him for mentorship. Some fans believed this was a digital revenge story. That night, Yandy appeared via satellite on a major late-night talk show, raw and unfiltered. Wearing no makeup and a plain blouse, she told the host, "This has been the hardest thing we've ever gone through. We've learned how easily truth can be twisted. Rumors tear people apart." Her words hit home. After the episode aired, social media shifted again. More people started expressing empathy. Even critics admitted she looked genuinely hurt. Meanwhile, the production crew stood quietly on a darkened set once used for reunion specials. One designer whispered to a colleague, "Can you believe this used to be a place for laughter?" The studio lot, once full of buzz and celebration, now felt like a ghost town. Then came another huge development. In a shadowy underground parking garage, police arrested the production assistant in handcuffs. Her lawyers insisted she was innocent, claiming she'd only flagged security concerns and was now being framed. Some said she held video evidence that could completely clear Mendeecees. Headlines screamed, "Assistant's confession could rewrite everything." At the station, the assistant broke down, saying, "I just wanted to protect him from himself." But was her act one of love or manipulation? As the weekend recess neared, jurors began deliberating. Inside their room, they pored over mixed evidence. On one hand, the courier's sworn statements and offshore transfers. On the other, expert testimony about data manipulation. One juror even doodled Mendeecees behind bars chained by code words, a detail that leaked online and only added to the frenzy. That night, a blog claimed the judge had once promised prosecutors a swift trial. Legal experts dismissed it as rumor, but fans were outraged and demanded the judge step down. Hashtags like hashtag fair trial and hashtag reform the courts took off. It was no longer just about Mendeecees. The case had become a symbol of how easily truth can be twisted in the digital age. When the final court day arrived, the courthouse buzzed. Outside, protesters held signs. "We want the truth and lock him up." Inside, the jury sat still. The prosecution delivered a dramatic closing statement, saying Mendeecees used his fame as a cover for criminal dealings, hiding drug profits in offshore accounts. The gallery murmured as they showed the final slide, the courier's affidavit, and intercepted messages. Then it was the defense's turn. Jasmine Rodriguez calmly reminded jurors of the forged text evidence, the tech demo showing how easily logs could be faked, and the unexplained gaps in security footage. "This isn't about guilt," she said. "It's about fear and rumors, fueled by scandal. Don't destroy a man over smoke and mirrors." Some courtroom observers wept. Then Mendeecees took the stand one last time. He looked around, then said, "I'm not perfect, but I'm not a criminal. I face my mistakes. I love my family, my community, and the fans who believed in me. Please see me for who I really am." The air in the room was heavy as the jury left to decide. Meanwhile, cast members whispered backstage, worried about the verdict. The network had two finals ready to go, one for acquittal, one for conviction. In a quiet family room, Yandy held Mendeecees' hand, whispering, "Whatever happens, we face it together." Outside, fans watched live streams and voted in online polls. Will he be found guilty? Do you still support him? People were divided. The jury returned. The judge reminded them, they must decide based on evidence, not media, not opinions. Then the 4% stood and said, "We find the defendant," and paused. Everyone held their breath. Would Mendeecees Harris walk free? Or would he be remembered as a cautionary tale about fame, power, and betrayal? The answer moments away was about to shake the world of reality TV for